Okay, hello everyone. Hi and good evening to all. I welcome you all to the platform of Sri Chaitanya, everyone. Okay, so as you all people know, this entire series is for to make you ready about the score examination. In the process of that only, we are over here to make you understand about few important questions related to the syllabus of that what we are going to ask in the score examination and the chapters that are important to that. So today we will be having a numerical questions. Today we will be having a type of questions, okay, related to the subjects, related to the topics which are going to be the topics are going to be gravitation as well as the motion, everyone. Okay, so if you remember in our first session of this particular grade 9 physics, I have given you the entire information of the chapter motion. We have talked about lot of theories, okay, including with that we have also talked about few numericals, people. In our today's session we will be talking about gravitation first. I'll explain you every single thing about the gravitation, entirely gravitation, then we'll come across with the thrust, pressure, fluid under pressure, every single thing, what is buoyancy and all. Okay, after that we'll jump into the numericals, big questions, that is maybe these types of questions going to be asked in your score examination. Okay, now I request everyone to please just be attentive in this. Okay, if you find out this something new in this particular session, you know, I don't know about this, okay, this is something new that is which is going on in this particular sessions, then I request you all to please take a note for that. Okay, since people we have given the, we have gone with the entire information about the chapter motion. I have taught you entirely about the chapter motion, what are the theories, what are the formulas, what are the numericals. If you remember, we have talked, we have also come across with a few of the questions also. In our today's session we will be going first theory part of the gravitation, because in our today's session we will be having a numericals of motion and gravitation. So we will be completing the gravitation part theory. I'll teach you every single thing about the gravitation. It is like a recap, you can say. Okay, so we will be having that. After that we'll jump into the numericals of motion as well as the gravitation, people. Okay, so let us move about this. And since okay, it is too much, there will be a lot of theories will be there. Okay, I request you all to please pay attention over here. So as you all people know that we are talking about why this entire session is very much important, because this session is all about to make you all prepare for the score examination. Okay, prepare you all about the entire syllabus, that what we are going to ask you when it comes to the grade 9, grade 10, 11, 12, whatever. Okay, so since you all people know that I'll take care of the physics, so we will be having an understanding of that. So if any one of you who is looking into this video and want to be the part of the score examination, because there are a lot of exciting things that is going to be happen, and 100% scholarship is there, 2.5 crores of what do you say, cash reward is there. Okay, then we have a NASA trip also, exciting gadgets and every single thing. Fine. So if anyone wants to participate in this, so you are very much welcome. You have to just register you have to register on the platform of Sri Chaitanya. When you have registered about this, then you have to select the dates also. The exam dates are 28 September to 12 October. Okay, you can select any of this. Fine. Hi, good evening. Okay, so the dates are clear. I request you all to at least give it once, okay, because it is going to be a very fantastic examinations. Okay, and the people who wants to see, some of you, among you only, there will be people who will be preparing for JEE, who will be preparing for the NEET. For them this is going to be a very exciting thing. Okay, so I request you all, if you feel that I have something extra in the chapters, in the subjects, physics, chemistry, maths, whatever the subjects are, then I request you all to please be attentive, please be giving these particular examinations. Fine. So the address is also given to over here, you can have in that also, and in the description also there will be a link to directly registration. Fine. Now people, we will be having an understanding of gravitation. Let us talk about the gravitation, everyone. What is gravitation is? See, when we talk about the gravitation in your books, if you have gone through the books, you might have been confused with the gravitation, okay? Because you can see there are three different names: gravitation, gravity, gravitational force. What are these? What are these particular names? Are all these names are same, or these are names are different? What are these names? Okay, the names are having the same meaning, or they are having the different meaning. Why these are, if they are having the same meaning, then why we are writing the three different names? Okay, so let us talk about the gravitation part, everyone. See, I'm not going in a very detail because I believe you have gone through that, okay, because it is like that only. So I'm just giving you an overview what is gravitation is. So Sir Isaac Newton has found out कि whenever there will be an attractive force between the two different bodies in this entire universe. Getting my point? So we have found, since we have got an understanding, there will be always an attractive nature of force which is attracting both between the two bodies. We wanted to understand about that particular attractive nature of force. So we have considered two bodies. What are those two bodies? We have considered one of the body us, and the other body is the Earth. Getting my point? So we are talking about the Earth. Whatever that we are going to talk in this particular chapter, we are going to take a reference of gravitation itself, nothing else. Sorry, we are going to take a reference of Earth only. Okay. After the taking of reference of Earth, we will be moving forward with the different things. Fine. Now, let us move about the gravitation, people. So, since Sir Isaac Newton has given one of the very much important theories in this, कि whenever there are two bodies, there will be an attractive nature of force, okay, which is acting between the two different bodies. Getting my point? So, we want to understand what are those two bodies are. How we want to understand about that attractive nature of force. Fine. So when we are going to understand about that, so we have found out how it has been defined. It has been defined that the force which the Earth pulls the object towards itself is called as the gravitational force. Now, since it is called as the gravitational force, if you go with the same concept in the different planets, it will be the same thing. But since it is acting on the Earth, so we have given a very short name for that. So that gravitational force can be considered to be known as gravity of Earth, or in a very short words we can write it down, it is gravity. Simple words. ठीक है? See, this is what it is going to happen. आप लोगों को पता होगा क्या कि एक बॉडी जो है, अगर ठीक है, if there is a body जिसको हम एक बहुत अच्छे हाइट से रिलीज करते हैं, रिलीज करने बोल रहा हूँ मैंने ये नहीं बोला कि आप इसको बहुत कस के फोर्स लगा रहे हो उसके ऊपर, नहीं, रिलीज करते हैं, वो बॉडी हमेशा नीचे ही आती है. Why this particular body is coming downwards only? Okay, because of the Sir Isaac Newton theory, कि there will be always an attractive nature of force which is acting on a body. तो फिर now you can ask me, आप मुझसे ये पूछ सकते हो कि सर ऐसा है तो फिर फिर अगर ऐसा है तो वो अर्थ बॉल की तरफ क्यों नहीं जाता? एक छोटा सा बॉल ही अर्थ की तरफ क्यों आता है? हम ही क्यों नीचे आते हैं? Why we are falling down? Why not Earth is pulling up? Getting my point? So अकॉर्डिंग टू उसके रिलेटेड भी बहुत सारे, उसके रिलेटेड भी एक लॉ लिखी गई है, ठीक है, कि लॉ ये लिखा गया है और ये बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. दो डिफरेंट बॉडीज है, एक बॉडी की मास बहुत छोटी है, दूसरे बॉडी की मास बहुत बड़ी है, ठीक है. तो अगर अट्रैक्टिव नेचर भी है तो जो बड़ी बॉडी होगी, बड़ा मास होगा, उसका अट्रैक्टिव फोर्स बहुत ज्यादा होगा छोटे बॉडी के रेस्पेक्ट में. दैट इज व्हाई द स्मॉल बॉडी इज अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स द फर्स्ट बॉडी. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? इसीलिए एक बॉल या फिर हम अर्थ की तरफ आते हैं, अर्थ हमारे तरफ नहीं आता. ठीक, आई होप दिस मच इज क्लियर टू ऑल, यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस मच. फाइन. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दिस. जहां तक बात है, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द वर्ड ग्रेविटेशन, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, वी टॉक अबाउट द ग्रेविटी. सो बेसिकली इन दिस इंटायर थ्री थिंग्स, वेदर वी टॉक अबाउट ग्रेविटेशन, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स और ग्रेविटी, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट फोर्स ओनली. उस अट्रैक्टिव फोर्स के बारे में ही बात कर रहे हैं हम, ठीक है. लेकिन क्योंकि हम हर बार ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एक बहुत बड़ी बात होती है और सिर्फ हम अर्थ को मेंशन कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हम अर्थ के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम अर्थ में ही रहते हैं, इसीलिए वी हैव चेंज दैट एंटायर नेम ऑफ द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इनटू अ वेरी शॉर्ट नेम दैट इज नोन एज ग्रेविटी. बस इतना ही है. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द फोर्स ओनली, दैट अट्रैक्टिव नेचर ऑफ फोर्स ओनली, बट क्योंकि वी आर इन द अर्थ, सो दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव गिवन अ वेरी शॉर्ट नेम दैट इज नोन एज ग्रेविटी ऑफ ग्रेविटी. सिर्फ ग्रेविटी के नाम से जानते हैं. ठीक है, तो आपको बहुत सारे सवाल इसमें उठेंगे. दिस इंटायर थ्योरी फॉर यू, ठीक है, इसमें से लाइक दिस इंटायर थ्योरी इज फॉर यू. यू कैन रीड इट आउट, यू कैन मग अप, यू कैन जस्ट हैव अ नोट्स, व्हाटएवर दैट यू वांट टू डू, यू कैन डू इट. आई एम हियर टू मेक यू एक्सप्लेन अबाउट द ग्रेविटेशन एंड ऑल. जब ना द मोमेंट इज व्हेन वी हैव फाउंड आउट कि ओके देयर इज एन अट्रैक्टिव नेचर ऑफ फोर्स व्हिच इज ऑलवेज बी एक्टिंग बिटवीन द टू डिफरेंट बॉडीज, सो वी वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट दैट फोर्स. ठीक है, कि मैग्नीट्यूड कैसे निकलेगा, हाउ टू फाइंड आउट दैट वैल्यू ऑफ द फोर्स. ठीक है, लाइक आई एम वन ऑफ द बॉडी, देयर इज अनदर ऑफ द बॉडी. ठीक है, फिर हम लोगों के बीच में दो अलग अलग, इफ वी टेक टू एग्जांपल्स ऑफ टू डिफरेंट बॉडीज, ठीक है, टू ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ओनली 70 kgs, टू ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, व्हाई वी आर नॉट अट्रैक्टिव टू ईच अदर, व्हाई द पर्सन व्हिच इज नेक्स्ट टू मी इज नॉट फॉलोइंग टुवर्ड्स मी और आई एम नॉट फॉलोइंग टुवर्ड्स देम, है ना, व्हाट इज द रीजन? Getting my point? If because सर आइजैक न्यूटन ने क्या कहा? सर आइजैक न्यूटन ने ये कहा कि दो बॉडीज यूनिवर्स में दोनों अट्रैक्टिव नेचर के फोर्स लगाएंगे. तो फिर अगर ऐसा है तो फिर हम लोगों दोनों के बीच में क्यों नहीं लग रहा? Getting my point? उसी चीज को समझना है हमें. That is what we have to understand. So for that only Sir Isaac Newton has given that particular law. This law is called as the universal law of gravitation. ठीक है, ये universal law of gravitation है. इसका मतलब ये है कि इस लॉ में लिखी गई या फिर इस लॉ में बताई गई जो भी वैल्यू है ये पूरे यूनिवर्स में सेम रहेगी और ये वैल्यू चेंज नहीं करने वाली. There will be no any changes in this particular value. It doesn't matter where the body is. ठीक है, इट विल बी फिक्स्ड ओनली. सो सर आइजैक न्यूटन ने क्या कहा? सर आइजैक न्यूटन ने जो स्टेटमेंट बोला उसी चीज को मैथमेटिकल फॉर्म में लिखने की कोशिश की. क्या बोला? कि एवरी बॉडी इन द यूनिवर्स अट्रैक्ट एवरी अदर बॉडी विथ अ फोर्स. और वो फोर्स का नेचर कैसा है? हमेशा याद रखना, वो फोर्स का नेचर कैसा है? द नेचर ऑफ द फोर्स इज ऑलवेज अट्रैक्टिव. ठीक है, द नेचर ऑफ द फोर्स विल बी ऑलवेज अट्रैक्टिव एवरीवन. फाइन. सो द फोर्स which is directly proportional to the product of the masses. दो different bodies है ना, एक मान लेते हैं एक छोटा body है, एक दूसरा बड़ा body है. So this it will be directly proportional to that particular bodies as well as the product of their particular body and inversely proportional to the distance between them. और inversely proportional है उनके बीच में जो distance होगी उनके square का distance के बीच का जो उसके square का जो distance होगा उनके inversely proportional है. ठीक है, so it is written as like this: f is directly proportional to m1 and m2, है ना, f is inversely proportional to 1 by r square. दोनों इक्वेशन को एक साथ लिखोगे तो we can write it down. f is directly proportional to m1 into m2 divided by r square. Now you all know in the in the mathematics everyone that to remove the directly proportionality we have to put a constant for that. और ये constant is called as g. Now this constant is called as G. What is this capital G represent? This capital G is represent as the universal constant. It is a universal constant. That means it doesn't matter what is going to be changed. It doesn't matter where we are going to find it out anything. Okay, this value is going to be same for every single condition in the entire universe. It is not going to change. Okay, that is why the word universal is written before the constant. Okay, now what is this G? G is the universal constant everyone. G is represented as universal gravitational constant. So the magnitude, the value of G which is going to be fixed for the entire universe is going to be 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 everyone. Okay, 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. But for some numericals, okay, you can write down 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 11 for some numericals everyone. For few numericals, okay, to make the entire numerical simpler, you can write down this. Otherwise, you have to take the value 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. Now, since it is a gravitational constant, so there will be a unit of it. What is the unit of this gravitational constant? The unit of the gravitational constant is Newton meter square per kg square. Okay, what is the SI unit of this? That is the Newton meter square per kg square everyone. Fine, the SI unit of gravitational constant is Newton meter square per kg square. Now, and when we talk about F, this value F, so this is a force which is acted between the two different bodies and we are talking about the gravitation entirely. So the force will be always vector quantity everyone, as you can see over here. The force is a vector quantity. So there will be any problem in that. There are few things that you have to remember. The value of gravitational constant, that is capital G, does not depend on the medium between the two bodies. There will be no any dependency of that. This is fixed. 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 is fixed for the entire universe. There will be no changes, no medium changes. It doesn't depend on the mass of the body. It doesn't depend on the distance between the bodies. Nothing. The value is fixed. Okay, so and it also do not depend on the mass of the body or the distance between the body. Please do remember this. Now for remembering everyone, since this is the law which is given by the Isaac Newton, sir. Okay, so you have to remember this, that the gravitational force, if we want to find out the magnitude between the two different bodies, that what is the magnitude of the attractive force between that, okay, you have to remember this formula. The gravitational force, which is represented by F, is equals to G m1 into m2 by r square. What is r? R is the distance between the two different two bodies. Okay, and please do remember the value of capital G, that is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. If it is done, now we are going to move about the Kepler's law, everyone. Okay, Kepler's law is a very interesting law. Why? Because if we talk about the Kepler's law, so Kepler was the scientist who have understood and want to make us understand about the entire thing about the planets, how they move, how they are revolving. Okay, they are revolving in which sense, and what is the time period. Like if you talk about the earth, earth is 24 hours in one day. Okay, 365 days in 1 year. What about the Mars? What about the Jupiter? So this is also will be given by the Kepler's law only. So Kepler has given the entire entire thing about the planetary motion in 3 different laws. When we talk about the 3 different laws, let us talk about the first one, that is called as Kepler's first law, which is also called as Kepler's orbital law or orbit's law. Okay, so what does Kepler has given the idea about? Kepler has said, see, we always believe the entire planets are moving in a circular path, which is wrong. The planets are not moving in a circular path. The planets are moving in an elliptical path. I believe you know the shape of ellipse. Okay, so the planets are moving in an elliptical path around the sun. They are moving in an elliptical path around the sun, everyone. Okay, now if you have learned the ellipse, people, then you can understand in ellipse, then you can, in ellipse there are 2 focus. In ellipse there are 2 focus, which is in English it is called as foci, because there are 2 plural, it is called as foci. Fine. So the Kepler has said that the planets are revolving around the sun and they are moving in an elliptical path, and in both of these 2 focus, the sun will be appeared in one of them. Okay, the presence of sun will be there in one of the focus, and the planets are moving in a elliptical path. The planets are moving in an elliptical path. Please do remember this. This is called as the law of orbital. Fine. Let us talk about the second law. And second law is very interesting. Why it is very interesting? Because here the mathematics is coming around little bit mathematics, because you have to prove it. So second law says, see, I will be showing the figure for this. Consider this is the planet P. This blue is the planet. Same planet is there. Okay. Let us consider this is at the point P. Okay. Point P. Now, after time T, this planet has reached to the point R. Fine, no problem. Taking sun as the center, we have tried to draw a line. When we have tried to draw a line, we have found out that it is covering a particular area, which you can see over here. Let us name this particular area as A1. Okay. Now, after some time, this planet, which was at the point R, now has moved to point S. After the same time T, same time T, it has reached to the point that is Q. Same, taking the sun as the center, we can find out that this is covering our area. Okay, let us consider this particular area is equals to A2. So, Kepler's second law says, it is also called as the law of area, everyone, which says it states that each planet revolves around the sun in such a way that the line joining the planet to the sun sweeps over equal area in equal interval of time. So if the time is same, then the second law says if the time is same, then the area 1 will be equals to area 2. Now you will be asking, sir, how it is possible? Okay, so that is also been clarified by the Keplers, that if the planet is moving nearby the sun, it moves very faster. When the planet moves nearby the sun, it moves very faster. When the planet is away from the sun, it is moving very slower. It is moving very, very, very slower. Okay, please do remember this. That is the Kepler's second law, everyone. That is the Kepler's second law, which is also called as law of area. Now the third one, which is actual mathematics, is there, because it is related to that time period. And for 1 year, how much days is there? For entire Earth, it is 365 days. But we cannot say it for the Mars. We cannot say it for Venus. We cannot say it for Mercury. Okay, because different planets have the different time interval for the one complete year. Getting my point? So that is given by the Kepler's third law. What the Kepler's third law says, that it is stated that the cube of the mean distance from the sun to a planet, the cube of the mean distance of the planet from the sun is directly proportional to the square of the time it takes to move around the sun. That is given by the Kepler's third law, which says r cube is directly proportional to t square. What is r? That is the mean distance between the planet and the sun. And what is t? T is the time period, everyone. Complete one revolution time period is there. So that is why we can write it down that r cube by t square is equals to constant. Please do remember this, because there might be a question related to that. Okay. This is for Kepler's first law, second law, and third law. I hope this much is clear to you and you have understood this much. Moving next, after this we have to understand the concept of the free fall. What do you mean by free fall? Free fall means whenever the body is in the action of only one kind of force. What is that force? The gravitational force only, that attractive force. You cannot throw the body. No. If the body is under the influence of the gravitational force only, the body should be under the influence of the gravitational force, then only the body can be considered as free fall. For an example, you go to a very good height, you have got to the very good height of a terrace, and you release a ball. Now that ball is, you release that ball. So the ball is having only the influence of the gravitational force. That's it. You are not throwing it, you are not applying any external force, nothing, only in the influence of gravitational force. If the body is under the influence of the gravitational force, then it will be considered as free fall. So whatever the question, whatever the numericals that we are going to do, we are going to do under the action, under the consideration that the body is under the free fall. Simple. Fine, the body is under the free fall. If we have talked about the free fall, now we are going to talk about the acceleration. Now you will be asking me, sir, why acceleration? Because see, the moment the body is going to release, at that particular moment, the velocity is going to be 0. After some time, the body is going to reach to the ground. That means their velocity changes to something. It may be 10, it may be 12, it may be 15, I don't know, but it is not equals to 0, it is more than 0. If you look into this, you can understand ki sir, in this the initial velocity is 0, the final velocity is something, but it is more than 0. That means the body has changed the velocity. If the body has changed the velocity, and of course there will be a required of time also, that it will be taking few seconds, but still if it is taking few seconds and the change in velocity is there, then what we are talking about? We are talking about acceleration. Or initially it was 0, finally it is something, and from here to here it is taking little bit of time. So we can say about acceleration is change in velocity with respect to time. That is why acceleration. Now the question arises, who is responsible for this acceleration? Only one force is responsible for the acceleration. Which force? The gravitational force, which we call as gravity. Okay, so that is why it is the acceleration, which is the acceleration under the influence of gravity. Acceleration under the influence of gravity, which is represented by small g. Getting my point? Which is represented by small g. This is what it is there. If it is so, everyone, please do remember the value of g. The value of g is different for the entire different planets, in fact, the value of G is also changing in the Earth. But for the standard, we take if the body at the surface, at the very surface of the Earth, then we take the body, the gravitational force will be equals to 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, for an example, suppose that this is the Earth, the body is at the surface of it. In this particular condition, we take the value of G will be equals to 9.8 meter per second square. Please do remember this. This is the condition of 9.8 meter per second square. Few more thing, everyone. The value of G is not depending on anything. It is not depending on the mass of the body. It doesn't depend on the medium of the body, nothing. The acceleration due to gravity is independent of every single thing, and it is not depending on anything, nothing. Okay. Moving next, the uniform acceleration produces a freely falling body due to the gravitational force of the Earth. This acceleration does not depend on the mass of the falling body. The acceleration due to gravity for the Earth is called as 9.8 meter per second square. If you want to find out the formula for acceleration due to gravity, for an example, suppose that someone asks you, tell me what is the formula for the small g. Okay, what is the formula for the small g? The very good formula for the small g, the only formula for the small g is, it is not written over here, I have wrote this. So the formula for the small g is acceleration due to gravity will be equals to g, gravitational constant, the bigger mass of the body divided by the r square. Please do remember this. Okay. The acceleration due to gravity formula is the gravitational constant, universal gravitational constant, the mass of the bigger body, and the distance between the two different bodies. Okay, please do remember this. This is very much important. If someone asks you, you can go with the formula. Fine. Chalo. Since according to the formula, you can see over here that the acceleration due to gravity is inversely proportional to the distance square. That means if the distance between the body is decreased, the gravitational force increases. Okay. Similarly, if the distance between the two different bodies increases, the gravitational force decreases. Okay. So it is inversely proportional. Please do remember. If someone asks you what, if we are talking about the if someone asks you, we know that the G is not completely 9.8 everywhere in the Earth. Okay, but still we want to know the maximum point where the value of G is maximum. Please do remember the maximum value of G will be at poles, North Pole and South Poles. Okay, will be at poles, everyone. And the minimum value will be at the equators. Why? Because the distance between the center of the Earth and the equator, it is more than the distance between the center of the Earth and the pole. That is fine. Okay, please do remember this. The value of the acceleration due to gravity will be maximum at the poles, and it will be minimum at the it will be definitely minimum at the where? It will be definitely minimum at the equators. Why? Because of that formula, G is equals to acceleration due to gravity is equals to universal gravitational constant multiplication of the bigger mass divided by the distance between them square. Okay, I hope you people have given the correct, I hope you have understood this much. And let us move forward with the next one. One more thing, people. One more thing. Okay, suppose that if you are going to compare something, compare in sense of, like if someone says ki my weight on Earth is 100, for an example, my weight on Earth is 100. So what will be my weight on Moon? So please do remember, we are going to compare with the Earth only. So weight on the Moon will be 1/6 of the weight of the Earth. If your weight is 60 Newton on Earth, then your weight will be 10 Newton on Moon. 1/6. 1/6. Please do remember this. That is what it is needed. Okay, that is what it is needed. Chalo. If it is so, you understood this much. Now we'll talk about that fluid part. Okay. Okay, now we'll talk about that fluid part. So in the fluid part, we have to understand what is fluid first. So what is fluid? Any substance which is having the ability to flow, that is known as fluid. There are two substances which have the ability to float. The first is known as liquids, the second is the gases. Okay, so basically we are talking about the fluid only, that is liquid and gases. More probably this entire thing is little bit more lean towards liquid part, not the gaseous part but the liquid part, little bit more lean towards the liquid part only. Let us talk about the thrust, everyone. What is thrust? So thrust is nothing. Thrust is a force only, that we all know. It is a force, but it is applying on a special condition. It is applying on a specific way. That is why we have given a particular name to that. Suppose that if this is a body, and if there is a force which is applying on this particular body, which is 90 degree to this surface, everyone, which is 90 degree to this particular surface, then we can say this is force only, which is applying on this particular body 90 degree to this surface. This is force, but to give a specific name to this, we have talked about thrust. That is why the specific name is given to it. If a force which is applied on a body, okay, and the force is 90 degree to the surface, then we can say that then that particular force will be considered as thrust. Since thrust is nothing but the force which is applied on the body 90 degree to the surface or perpendicular to the surface, the SI unit is going to be Newton and the CGS unit is going to be Dyne, everyone. Okay, now let us talk about the pressure. What is the pressure? So the force or the thrust that is applied on the body per unit area is called as pressure. Thrust per unit area is called as pressure. SI unit is going to be Newton per meter square, or it is also called as Pascal, which is represented as capital P small a. Please do remember this. Okay, Newton per meter square is called as Pascal, which is represented as capital P small a. When we talk about the CGS unit, everyone, the CGS unit you all know, for Newton it is Dyne, for meter square it is centimeter square. Okay, so we have talked about the CGS unit of the pressure is equals to Dyne per centimeter square. That is what the pressure and the thrust is all about. That is what it is there. After that, we are going to talk about the density, everyone. What do you mean by density? So please do remember this. The density is represented by a symbol known as rho, which is like this. For different books, it is represented different way, but I'm going to say it is represented by rho. Okay. So what do you mean by density? Density means the mass per unit volume of a body. For an example, suppose that there are two containers. Getting my point? Let us take two containers. And now, what is going to happen? If I fill, what in the first container we have gas. In the second conductor we have sands. It is gaseous in state. When we talk about the sand is what? It is solid in state. If I put 1 kg of sand in this particular container, you can say that the entire container will be filled up. It will be taking the entire volume of the gas, entire volume of the container, entire volume of the vessel. But if I put sand, 1 kg of sand, it will be taking this much only. It will be taking this much only. Getting my point? So if we want to find out the density of the particular body, we have to formulate it by mass per unit volume. Means less volume is taken by a particular substance will be having more density. As you can see in the formula, mass per unit volume. So sand is taking a little bit of more, less space, less volume with respect to the gas. Same amount of gas is there, 1 kg gas, 1 kg sand. So it is taking very less amount of volume. That is why the density of this particular sand is more than the gas. And more factors, like normally the solids are having more density with respect to gases and liquid. Okay, solids are having more density with respect to liquid and gases. Okay, I hope it is clear to all. Now, when we talk about the densities, everyone, when we talk about the density is equals to mass per unit volume, and of course, it is going to be scalar quantity only. Okay, it is going to be scalar quantity. What is the SI unit of What is the SI unit of density? That is kg per meter cube. CGS unit is gram per centimeter cube. Fine, that is what it is there. Few more thing, everyone. Liquid is incompressible. You cannot compress the liquid, whereas the gas can be compressed. Okay, whereas the gas can be compressed. You will be asking me how. Put 1 kg of gas into that gas cylinder. It will be occupying the entire container. But the same gas container will be having 15 kg of gas also. So we can compress this gas. We can put more and more gas in the same space of vessel. Getting my point? That is how it is compressible, but liquid is not. Now we'll talk about the relative density, everyone. Relative density means we are going to give you the answer about the density, but with reference of certain different thing. Okay, we have to take a reference. What is the reference that we are taking? We are taking the reference of water. Few more things about the density, everyone. You have to remember two values of density. The density of water, please do remember, the density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube, because it is going to be used multiple times. And one more density, the density of mercury, everyone, Hg. That is 13,600 kg per meter cube. These two values you have to remember. The density of water, that is 1000 kg per meter cube. The density of mercury, that is 13,600 kg per meter cube. This is very much important. Fine, because we see, already see, if they want to find out the value of the some certain density, they will be giving you the value. Do not worry about that. But these two things are rapidly used in this particular chapter, so you should remember these values. Okay, let us talk about the relative one, everyone. In relative, we are going to give you the answer about the density only, but the references change. We have to take a particular reference. In the relative density, we are taking the reference of water. So whatever the density of any substance that you have to find, you have to divide it by water density. Okay, relative density of the substance is the density of the substance divided by the density of the water, which is 1000. This is what it is there. And please do remember, everyone, it is also called as specific gravity. Okay, and very much important thing, that the relative density is unitless. There is no any unit. Why? Because density divided by density, nothing is there. Okay, so please do remember, relative density is unitless. Fine. Relative density is unitless. After that, we are talking about atmospheric pressure. What do you mean by atmospheric pressure? Since we are living in Earth, everyone, we do have a blanket of gases around us. So the atmosphere, we call that atmosphere. The atmosphere is also applying the pressure on us. Force per unit area, which is we are there. Okay, that is why the pressure which is applied by the atmosphere on us, that is called as atmospheric pressure. Fine, that is called as atmospheric pressure. Since we know the SI unit of pressure is Pascal or the Newton per meter square, but still there is one more unit that we use to represent that we are talking about atmospheric pressure. That is represented by PATM. If somewhere it is written as PATM, that means we are talking about atmospheric pressure. So the value of atmospheric pressure in pascals, everyone, is 1.01325 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Please do remember this. If you don't want to remember after 1.01, you can skip it for now, but this is the exact value, 1.01325 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. This is the value of 1 ATM. 1 atmospheric pressure, this is the value. Okay, that is what it is there. Now, as we have gone with this particular pressure, everyone, pressure is thrust per unit area. Okay, suppose that this thrust means what? We are talking about force. Let us talk about the force which is applied by a fluid, a water. Getting my point? So we cannot find, it is not strong now. So what we are going to write? We are going to write the weight of the body. Why we are going to write the weight of the body? Because if you try to understand, thrust is applying 90 degree to the surface, weight of the body is also applying downwards, which is 90 degree to the surface, which is downwards only. So we can say it is the weight of the body divided by the area. Weight means what? That is m into g divided by the area. M, if you talk about the density, everyone, density is equals to m divided by volume. And we are talking about liquids now. The liquid will be having, it can have mass also, it can have density also. So I'm giving you the answer with respect to the density. So the mass of the fluid, the mass of the liquid will be density multiplication of volume. I can write it density multiplication of volume multiplication of G divided by A. What is this volume can write? Volume can write density multiplication of area multiplication of height multiplication of G. divided by A. This A and A is cancelled. We have found out, if this is clear, we have found out the pressure which is applied by the fluid, everyone, the pressure which is applied by the fluid can be written as rho GH. The pressure which is applied by the fluid can be written as rho GH. What is this rho? Rho is the density of the fluid. What is this G? G is the acceleration due to gravity of the fluid. Acceleration due to gravity, and H is the depth. H is the depth, everyone. How deep the water is. So if someone asks you what is the acceleration due to gravity with respect to the density, this is the formula. Rho GH of the fluid. I hope people this much is clear to you and you have understood this much. Okay. Now, as you all people know, we have talked about the buoyancy. What is buoyancy? Buoyancy is the effect, everyone, whenever a body is getting inside the fluid due to the action-reaction pair. Okay, third law. If the body is getting inside the fluid, that is an action, so a reaction will be there which is upward direction. So this upward direction will be completely straight. Okay, that is why it is called as upthrust also. Since it is a force only, we call that upthrust force as buoyant force. And this entire process, the force which is applied by the fluid towards the upward direction is called as buoyancy. Buoyancy is what? When a body is getting inside a fluid and the fluid is applying an upthrust force, or you can say the fluid is applying the force upward direction on that particular body due to that fluid, then that particular process is considered to be known as buoyancy. Okay, that fluid is considered to be known as buoyancy, everyone. Now, what are the factors that are very much what are the factors which are affecting the buoyant forces? First of the volume, simple, and volume of the entire body. Okay, immerse in the liquid, and the density of the liquid. More density of the liquid, more buoyant force will be there. Simple. Archimedes principle. What is Archimedes principle? Archimedes has told us whenever a body is getting inside the fluid, there is a certain amount of fluid which is rising or coming out. If you weight that particular displaced liquid, it will be equal to the weight of the body which is getting inside that liquid. That is what Archimedes principle has given to us. That the buoyant force or the upthrust acting on that object will be the weight of the liquid displaced by the object. Okay, so indirectly it is saying that it will be equals to the weight of the body. Fine. Chalo. If it is so, that is what it is, and I believe you have found out the entire things. You have to just remember 3 or 4 or 5 formulas. Please do remember that, and few concepts are there. Rest is fine. Let us talk about this particular value, everyone. I have taught you the motion chapter earlier. Okay, today we will be having a question, everyone. If we have got the time, we can complete it in the time in this particular session itself. If there is no time, then the rest is for your homework. Okay. Now, as you can see, we are talking about a displacement time graph of two particles A and B are a straight line inclined at an angle of 30 degree and 60 degree, everyone. With the time axis, the ratio of their velocities will be what? So if you remember everyone, that if we talk about the displacement time graph, then there are two different lines are there. This is the first line, this is the second line. This is making 30 degree and this is making 45 degree. This is body A and this is body, sorry, not 45, 60 degree. Sorry people. This is making 60 degree. This is body A, this is body B. What we have to find? We have to find out the ratios of the velocity. How we are talking about velocity in this? Because this graph is all about density and time. So how we can talk about the velocity for this? Okay, so please do remember we have talked about the slopes, everyone. We all know solution for this entire question. We all know the slope of displacement time graphs. The slope of displacement time graph gives you the understanding of velocity. Okay, velocity. Fine. So what is slope? The angle between the horizontal axis and the inclined plane. That is known as slope mathematically. So we know the slope is represented by 10 theta in the form of trigonometry. In the form of trigonometry, it is represented as tan theta, or in the form of a coordinate geometry, it is the change in the y-axis divided by the change in x-axis. We have talked about this in our previous session of the physics that we have talked about. Entirely, we have talked about the motion. Now, if it is so, the velocity of the body A divided by the velocity of body V will be equals to the tan theta body A divided by tan theta body B. This is what we know. Similarly, if we put the value tan 30 degree divided by tan 60 degree people, okay, what will be the values? What will be the value? Okay, so if you people know anything about the 10, everyone, 1030 divided by 1060, the value of 1030, let me write it somewhere. Okay, the value of 1030, if you want to try it by yourself and you don't know the value of trigonometry of this, so 1030 will be equals to 1 by root 3. And when we talk about the 1060 degree, what will be the value? Anyone? Yes, 1060. What will be the value? Tell na. I also forgot. What will be the value of this? 1060, everyone. No problem. Okay. The value of 1060 equals to root 3. Fine. Just solve it down. Na? It is 1 by root 3. And it is root 3. Okay. It will be going to be root 3 will be multiplied by root 3. It is going to be 1 by 3. You can say that VA is to VB will be equals to 1 is to 3. That will be the answer. Okay, this is going to be the answer. Now, sometimes they might give you the options. Sometimes it might be a complete numerical. Okay, see, my job is to prepare you about the entire question. Okay, so this type of question may ask you in the motion. Let us move to our next question, people, which is, what do you think about this? If you want to give the answer, you can give the answer. Let us wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Please let me know your answers for this. What do you think about this? A 150 meter long train is moving with a uniform velocity of 40 km per hour. The time taken to cross the bridge of length 850 will be what? Will be how much? Will be how much? Anyone who wants to give the answer for this? Please, people. Anyone wants to give the answer for this? Anyone wants to give the answer for this? Come on. No one? Chalo. So it is since in our junior classes we have learned this particular formula. In our junior classes we have learned that the distance is equals to speed into time. So we want to understand about the time. So time will be equals to distance by speed. So when we talk about distance, it is the total distance by क्या है? Total speed. Total distance by speed or speed, whatever it is. Speed. Now, if you try to find it out, we have to find out the time. Total distance is what? That is 150 meter of the train length plus 850 meter of bridge. That is the total length that the train has to cover in with the, what is the speed? That is 40 kilometer, 45. What is this? 45 kilometer per hour. Now you have to change the entire unit. Either you can change the meter into kilometer, or you can change this thing, whatever that you feel correct. Now I can see it is going to be easy if you are going to change this, because it is going to be 1000 meters, which will be equals to 45 kilometer per hour. Fine. If it is so, we can change 1000 will be equals to 1 kilometer divided by 45 kilometer per hour. Okay, this is what it is there. Now as you can see, this hour is going up, this kilometer cancel out. We are getting the value of t will be equals to 1 by 45. 1 by 45. If we want to calculate this particular value, 1 divided by 45 people in hours will be equals to 0.0222, and it will be continue hours. Okay, if we want to convert this entire hour into second, because the answer is given into seconds, everyone. So if you want to convert this entire thing into seconds, so how we are going to convert this thing? So it will be hours, so it will be multiplied by 3600. The answer is going to be 7.999. You can say the time is going to be 79.99, and it will be going on in seconds, or the time can approximately equals to 80 seconds. That will be your answer. So we have to act according to the option that is given to us. That is going to be C, 80 seconds, people. Okay, I hope it is clear to all and you have understood this much. There are two options. Either you can convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second, or you can convert this meter into kilometer. So it was in hours. I have converted into seconds. It can be written like this. Fine. Sure. Let us move to the next question, please. Let me know your answers for this. What do you think about the answer for this question? What will be the answer for this particular question, people? What do you think? Anyone? Yes. Anyone with the answer, please? No one? No problem. So what is going to be the answer? What is the question is, a man walks on a straight road from his home to a market that is 2.5 kilometer away with a speed of 5 kilometer per hour. Find the market closed. He instantly turns and walked back home with the speed of 7.5 kilometer per hour. The average speed of the man over the interval of 0 to 40 minutes, okay, is equals to how much? So first of all, as you can see the options over here, it is written in kilometer per hour. So you have to convert this thing entirely. So when we have to find out the average speed, right? So the formula for the average speed, everyone, the solution for this is, if we talk about the average speed, the average speed is written as total distance by total amount of time that has been taken, total time taken. As you can see over here, if we talk about the average speed, the total distance will be what? We have to find out in kilometers per hour. So total distance is 2.5, 2.5, the total distance is 5, because the distance will be same, na? Now the total time taken, we have the speed, everyone, over here. Okay, we have the speed over here. Fine, no problem. The average speed of the man over the interval time of 0.0 to 40 minutes is equals to what? Good question. What do you think? So in this particular case, what we are going to have, since we are having two different speeds, everyone, and the time will be going to be changed for the two different instant. The first speed is 5 km per hour. The second speed is 7.5 km per hour. The distance will be same. Okay, so the total distance is 5 only. But as you all people know the simple formula that right now we have told about that the time is equals to distance by speed. So distance is 5 only, but the speed is going to be changed. Okay, so distance will be, how much distance it had traveled? It had traveled 2.5 kilometers divided by what is the speed? That is 5 plus second it is traveled again the same distance, that is 2.5 kilometers, but the speed will be what? That is 7.5. That is what it is there, 7.5 kilometer per hour. This is what you have to calculate, everyone. This is what you have to calculate. Fine. So if we are going to calculate this entire value, what are the things that we can write it down? That the V average will be equals to, it is 5, sorry, it is going to be 5 divided by, we can say it is 2.5. I can use the calculator, right? Fine. Hanji, what are the values that we can write it down over here? So that is 2.5. Because I have to complete this entire thing, so that is why I'm choosing this. So it will be 0.5, everyone, plus 2.5 divided by 7.5. Oh, what we have done, 2.5 divided by 7.5, it is going to be 0.33. So V average will be equals to, you can find it out over here, that is 0.5 plus 0.33 will be this, and 5 will be divided by 0.83. So the answer is coming out to be, that is 6, around 6.02 kilometer per hour, around this. Do we have the value? What I have done wrong? Anything that I have done wrong, everyone? I don't think so. Total, a man walks on a straight road. A man walks on a straight road from his home to market 2.5 km away with the speed of 5 km per hour. Find the market close. He instantly turned and walked back home with the speed of 7.5 km per hour. The average speed of the man over the interval of time 0 to 40 minutes is equals to. Cannot find anything wrong in this. It is average speed, right? Okay, might be a little bit of changes. Let me see what things that are going to be wrong. Just allow me a minute, everyone. Okay. Fine, no problem. Arre, no problem. We'll take care of this. Why do we worry? Okay, so 2 points are there. Okay, this is the man homes and this is the market. No problem. After that, the distance the man walks on a straight road to his from his home to the market, that is the distance is 2.5. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so from here to here it has 2.5 kilometer. Fine, no problem. Moving next, with a speed of 5 kilometer per hour. Okay, it is moving, away with this 5 kilometer per hour. Find out the market close. He instantly turns and walked back home with the fine. Okay, fine. So it turns back, na? It turns back. So he turns back to home with the speed of 7.5 kilometer. 7.5 kilometer per hour. Okay, fine. What we have to find out the average speed. The time interval is between 0 to 40 minutes. Okay, why this value is given to us? Fine, we have to find out the value according to this particular time only. Okay, where was the body? Now, what was the speed of that particular body according to this particular time? Fine. This is what we have to find. है ना? Fine. What we were thinking is we were thinking कि the body has moved from the point A to point B, means home to the market, and it has come back. But it is not like that. Why? Because the time interval is given as 0 to 40 minutes only. That means we have to talk around this particular value. Okay, fine. Now, if we talk about the solution of this, everyone, please be with me. Anna, please with me. So if we talk about the solution for this, we can say if we talk about the distance one, because two different distances are there, that is 2.5 kilometers it has traveled with the velocity one, that is how much? That is 5 kilometers, everyone. Okay, that is 5 kilometers. So if this has been traveled, so what will be the time for this? What is the time that has been taken? So we know if we talk about the time, it is distance by speed, that is 2.5 kilometers divided by 5 kilometer per hours. Okay, that is 5 kilometer per hour. It is going out to be 0.5 it is going to be 0.5 hours. If we want to convert this thing into minutes, it is going to be 30 minutes. Now that is the issue. What is the issue is that the person has covered 2.5 kilometer with the speed of 5 kilometer per hour in 30 minutes, and we have to take care of the answer between 0 to 40 minutes. They're getting my point. So already if this is 30 minutes that has been taken, then the value of T2 will be highest. What is that? That is 40 minutes minus 30 minutes. We have to take care of the rest time, that is going to be 10 minutes, everyone. We have to give the answer according to this rest of the time, that is 10 minutes. If we want to find, since we have the value of T2, we have the value of the speed, everyone. And so as you can see, T2 is there. We have the value of V2 also, that is 7.5 kilometer per hour, everyone. If we have to convert this particular thing into hours, it will be written as 1/6. 1/6, 10 minutes divided by 60, it is going to 1/6 hour only. 1/6 hour, V2 is given to you. If we want to find out the distance, D2, everyone, D2 will be equal to speed into time. Speed is how much? Speed is equal to 7.5. 7.5 multiplication of 1/6. If you solve this thing, D2 will be equal to 75 by 10 multiplication of 1/6. You can go with this. How we are going to go with this, everyone? 5 times. So it is 5 2s are. It is 5 1s are 5. 5 1s are 5. 2 5 5 15. Fine. This is 3 times 3 2s are 3 5s are. Okay. So we are getting how much? We are getting D2 is equals to 5/4. That means we are getting 1.25 kilometer. Now there is the change. That is why it has been wrong, everyone. I was doing wrong. This is what is correct, because the time was when we are traveling 2.5 kilometer with 5 kilometer per hour, already it is 30 minutes which has taken place, and we have to give the answer according to the maximum 40 minutes. The rest is 10 minutes. In rest 10 minutes, it has traveled only 1.25 kilometer. So if we talk about the total distance, that is had covered between 0 to 40 minutes, then it is going to be what? It is going to be total distance is 2.5 plus 1.25, everyone, plus 1.25. So the total distance will be 3.75. It hasn't traveled in 0 to 40 minutes. In maximum 40 minutes, it hasn't traveled 5 kilometers completely. It has traveled only 3.75 kilometers. Okay, now according to this 3.75 kilometers, we have to take care of the average speed. What will be the average speed, everyone? According to this, we have to take care of the average speed. If we are going to take care of the average speed, total distance is this. If we are going to, okay, it is little bit rough. Okay, let me cancel it, everyone. Sorry. So it is D2 will be equals to 75 divided by 10 multiplication of 1 by 6. If you solve this thing, you will be getting this. Okay, total distance we have found out 3.7 kilometer. Total time, the maximum time that we are having, that is 40 minutes. So 40 minutes we have to convert into hour, divided by 60. We are getting what? That is 2 by 3 hours. I do not have the space over here, people, so that is why I am writing over here. Okay, so total distance by total time. So V average will be equals to 3.75 divided by how much? 2 by 3. If you try to solve this thing, everyone, so what will be the answer is, we can write it down, it is going to be 100 into 2 and multiplication of 3, something like that. Okay, fine. If I am not wrong, let us solve it now. Let us solve this. So V average will be equals to, let us solve this thing. Sorry for the mess, it may be little bit bigger. That is 375 multiplication, 375 multiplied by 3 divided by 200. We are getting 5.65. So the value of V average, we have found out the value of V average will be equals to 5.625. 625 kilometer per hour. If you are going to go with the whole number, I believe the answer is going to be 75 by 8. This is 75 by 8 will be having the same value, na? 45 by 8. Same value is there. The answer is 45 by 8. I hope it is clear to you now. Okay, sorry for the mess, everyone. This is how it has been solved. So what was my mistake is I haven't found out about this. Okay, so it is 0 to 40 minutes. So already it has taken 30 minutes. Rest the 10 minutes is there. So it hasn't completed the entire 5 kilometers. It has covered total, that is 3.75 kilometers only. Okay, I hope it is clear to you and you have understood this. Chalo, let us move to this particular question. What do you think about this? What do you understood about this, people? Please let me know. Solve the question, people. Fine. what the question is saying is, please look into this. The question says, a stone is allowed to fall from the top of the tower. Okay, a stone is allowed to fall, free fall everyone, to the the stone is allowed to fall from the top of the tower 100 meters. So the value of H max, solution for this is, the value of H, the height, is going to be 100 meters, as we can say. Fine, 100 meters high, and at the same time the another stone is projectedly vertically upward, as you can see over there. Okay, with the speed of, so we have the value of U is going to be how much? That is 25 meter per second. So the value of this, the value of U is 25 meter per second. Fine, no problem. What is this? Calculate when and where the two stones will be meeting. Okay, fine. So let us suppose that the body are going to meet at this particular point. Let us suppose the bodies are going to meet at this particular point. If the bodies are going to meet at that particular point, then in that particular case, the distance from here to here, sorry, in that particular case, people, the distance from the top to that particular point, this is XX. Okay, this particular point, it is total is 100. Okay, let us say this is going to be what? That is going to be 100 minus X. Let us say, and this is going to be, let us say, X. It is X. If it is so, now we have to find out that particular value of X over there. What is the value of X? What is the value of X? So we will be using the second equation of motion. As you can see, why second equation of motion? In second equation of motion, we have the value of S. That is why H. We can write the H. Second equation of motion, S equals to UT plus half AT square. So we will be doing this equation for both the stones. If we take care of this particular stone first, this particular stone, so it is moving downwards, acceleration due to gravity is downwards, in both are downwards, the value of G will be positive. We have it will be reaching out to this particular point, height is this. Okay, if that is so, we can write, initially it is going to be 0, so I am writing 0 plus half the value of A, that is the value of A will be G only, which is positive, G T square. So I have wrote this. Fine. So the value of S is how? That is 100 minus X everyone, which is going to be half GT square. Let us say this is going to be first equation. If you're going to write the equation for the second ball, the same equation will be this, S equals to UT plus half AT square. We can say the value of S is X, the value of U is 25, the time is taken T plus half AT square. Sorry, not A, GT square. My bad. Sorry, people. Half GT square. Okay. So half GT square has the value of 100 minus X. You can put this value over here. So the value of X can be written as 25T plus 100 minus X. So if you want to solve this thing, you can go with this. How we are going to go with this? That is 25T, people. 25T. Plus 100 minus X. So this X will be going this side. It will be 2X will be equals to, we can write it down over here. How much? We can write it down the value of over here. How we are going to write it down? The value is, we are going to write down the value, that is 25T plus 100. 25T plus 100. The value of X will be equals to 25T plus 100 divided by 2. That is the value of X. That is the value of X. Fine, no problem. If it is so, now we are going to find out the T. What is going to be the find out the T, everyone? I hope the every single thing value is written the same, right? Half GT square, right? Equation 1, equation 2. So we have found out 25T plus 100. 25T plus 100 divided by 2. That is what the value of X is. If we are going to find out, fine, The value of x is this. If we are taking this particular value of x and we are putting in the equation number 2, if we are putting in the equation number 2, or we are going to put in this particular value, then we can say the answer is going to be, just take it and put it over here. We can say 100 minus the value of x is 25 t plus 100 whole divided by 2 will be equals to gt square, half gt square, half g. The value of g, let us take the value of g as 10 and multiplication of t square, that is t square only. If you try to solve this thing, it will be going to be 200 minus 25t plus 100 whole divided by 2 will be equals to half multiplication of 10 into t square. So if it is so, this half and this half is cancelled out. Simple. Okay, what else we can do over here, people? Okay, what else we can do? I don't have the space again. Every single time this happens. What else we can write over here? We can write this thing, that the 200 minus 25t plus 100 will be equals to, this is going to be 10t square. Simple, 10t square, fine. 200, fine. If it is written like this way, it is plus plus, it is going to be 300. 300 minus 25t will be equals to 10t square. This square and this t is cancelled out. It is written as how much? It is written as 275 will be equals to 10t. The value of t will be equals to, the value of t will be equals to 275 divided by 10. The answer is going to be 27.5 seconds. The value of t has come out, that is 27.5 seconds, people, and we have to put the value according to that. I believe the answers are correct. Please see the calculations, everyone. If you find out any calculation mistake is there, please let me know. Any calculation mistakes are there? Because I can find out one. Any calculation mistakes are there? I have found out one. What about you? See, what is the calculation mistakes, everyone? If we talk about the first one, that is the ball that is dropping, in that particular case, the value of g is positive. If we talk about this, that is the second one. Okay, if you talk about the second one, in this particular case, the value of plus is not that, it is negative. Here, the value will be negative. See, because it is moving upward direction. Here, the value is going to be negative. Negative. This is the mistake that you all will be doing. If it is so, so in that particular case, this is the mistake, everyone, fine. So, this is the mistake. Now, this entire equation is wrong. The entire values are wrong. So, we have to check it according to that. Okay, so instead of that positive sign, we have to take that negative sign. The value is changed. Now what we can write, the value of x is equals to 25t negative of 100 and it is going to be positive x. Okay, it is going to be positive x. In this particular case, this x is coming in this side, it is going to be 0, which is going to be 25t minus 100. If it is so, this 100 is coming over this side, this 100 is coming over this side, this is going to be positive, will be equals to 25t. The value of t is equals to 100 divided by 25. It is going to be 4 seconds, everyone now. Got it? That is the entire calculation mistake, that it should be negative, not positive. Okay, if it is so, the value of t is going to be 4 seconds. You can take this particular value of t and you can put it anywhere. You can put in this first equation. If you are going to put in this first equation, what is the value that is going to come out is? Okay, the value that is going to come out is 100 minus, what is the value of x that we have to find out, will be equals to, the value is half. The value of g that we want to know, let us say it is 10. The value of t that we have found out, it is 4 square, that is going to be 16. This and this is cancelled out, this is going to be 8. So we can say it is 100 minus x, which is going to be 80, everyone. Okay, the value of x is going to be 20 meters. That is your answer. Okay, so see, we have found out that a small mistake which is over there, okay, instead of writing positive, it should be negative, because of this particular body is going upwards. Okay, so that was the entire mistake was there. So please do remember, over here you have to take as negative. Why? Because for this particular ball it should be negative. Okay, that is why the time is going to be 4 seconds and the distance is going to be 20 meters from the ground and 80 meters from the top. So there are few more questions that is for you to solve it out. Okay, as I have told you, everyone. Okay, so please do not forget to register. That is 28 September and 12 October, everyone. Fine, and please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can follow us in this particular social media platform. This is for the all. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Bye, everyone. Take care. Have a nice day. See you all. Thank you.